are back for week number 10 of the Bulldog Bark, Crown Point Football's only podcast. We talk all things football, and we talk to the man himself, the head football coach of the Crown Point Bulldogs, Greg Buzia. Coach, how are we doing this week?
Hello, Ski. Great to be with you again. It's hard to believe we're on the last regular season game, isn't it?
Last regular season game of the year. I'll tell you, the season has flown by. Where does the time go?
Yeah, no kidding. It seems like we were just in the summer passing out equipment, and now we're finishing things up. So hopefully we could finish it up with a bang and go out in style.
Now, Coach, we talked last week about you jinxing us a little bit, and you kind of did. You were talking about such the great weather that we have, and then Friday night football game came out, and boom, the cold weather hit in a flurry. Well, what happened with that?
Well, I'm not a weatherman, so I don't know exactly what happened with it, but you were acting like we were in Antarctica. I mean, I thought it was just a little chillier than normal, but it was a little different for us, obviously, and we better get used to it because this week doesn't look any better. And then obviously, the further you get into November, but that's that'd be a good thing if we could be playing when it's 35, 40 degrees. I think we'll be doing all right.
This is true. I think it was the shock more than anything. It had been 80 degrees all week, and then boom, it hit, and it was 45, and I think it just caught everybody off by surprise.
Yeah, I agree. Just came in a hurry, and but that's football weather for you.
Well, and football continued, and so did the streak this past week. Another win, this time against the Chesterton Trojans by not as convincing score as usual, but you came up against a team that came out and was ready to play.
Yeah, like I said before playing them, they are a team that's been a little bit snake bit. They lost their starting quarterback, I think, in week 3 or 4, and then had to reset a little bit. But they've lost, before we played them, I think 3 games within a touchdown or less. So they've been in a lot of good games and just haven't been able to close it out. Knew we were going to get their best shot. We did. Obviously, we did. Offensively, we stumbled a little bit in the first half and just was not able to get some things going, even though we had a lot of plays. I think our first drive, we had 17 plays, came away with nothing. And then the next drive, we had 13 plays and came away with just a touchdown in 2 drives. So, just one of those things that we got to do better. We got to be more efficient. And, in that first half, we had 5 major penalties, which didn't help us at all either.
Yeah. Once again, defense came up strong. So even when the offense is struggling a little bit, the defense is able to keep the game really close.
Defense has been awesome. I mean, it's at this point, I think you're giving up about 6 points a game, and when you got a defense that's doing that, you're always going to be in the game, and I think that's a reason why on offense we don't have to struggle. We don't feel like they're going to give up many points, and we could be a little bit more conservative than maybe we normally would be, but we don't want to put it all over the defense too. We feel like we should score more points than we did, and there's a lot of reasons for that. The timing, the penalties. We did give up some uncharacteristic sacks along the way, but the second half we sort of refocused and got our guys together. Chesterton did come out in a totally different front than they've played the games before that. So we had to get on the board and show our guys exactly what we wanted to do. Came out with a little bit more of a double tight formation, and just thought we could run the ball right at them, and that's what we did, to the tune of Larry Ellison, I think, running for about 170 yards and a whopping 39 carries.
Yeah, no big breakout runs, but it was just consistently getting a few yards here and some big runs when you really needed it.
Yeah, and I think he ended up with a 30-yard run or a touchdown run somewhere along the way. But they were hard-earned runs, and Chesterton's got a nice defense. They've been playing great defense all year long, and they'll hit you, and they did a great job of tackling. I think probably their safety, I think last count, is still tackling our guy, number 6. I think he might have had 40 tackles, but anytime when the opposing team is getting their safety is your leading tackler, you're doing something right, obviously, because you're in their secondary.
Well, Coach, the win takes you to 8-0 on the season so far. Just one regular season game remaining. Another chance for a undefeated season like you did last year, a regular season anyway. And after the game, I talked to a lot of the players, and they were just talking about the culture and how the culture is so different now with Crown Point football. Speak on that word a little bit and how you think it has changed to make this team now so consistently winners.
Well, I think culture is one of those things that is thrown around, and not a lot of people, define what it means. And I think it's just like the buzzword or whatever you want to call it that everybody's using nowadays. But we just try to we talk to our guys every week about our preparation is the same no matter who we're playing. We do the same thing every Monday. We do the same thing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and hopefully do the same thing on Friday. And it's a positive culture, but it's one that of accountability, and one that not only are the players accountable to the coaches, but the players are also accountable to themselves. And I think when you have a team or a program that the players are accountable to each other, I think good things are going to happen, and that's what we've been able to do the last couple of years. I mean, these guys are accountable to each other. They don't want to let each other down, and I think that's very, very important. What you're trying to get accomplished, and because of that, you're seeing the success that we're having.
Exactly. Well, let's take a look at the Station 21 Players of the Week from this past week against Chesterton. No surprise offensively. Once again, he's won multiple awards. Number 3, Larry Ellison.
Yeah, we're always looking to get it to somebody else. I think this is maybe the 4th time he's won it, and it's just so hard. And obviously, nobody gets 170 yards rushing on 39 carries without somebody doing some positive things in front. But Coach, we're always looking for a lineman to stick out. But Coach Cicero's a stickler, as you well know, and he didn't have one guy that he thought really stood out among the other linemen. So it was probably our lowest passing game of the year, where we just stuck to the ground a little bit more than often. But so not a lot of receivers and quarterbacks involved. So Larry Ellison is the man. I mean, what can you say? He's almost to 1,000 yards and never took one snap before this year as a running back. So it's quite a story.
On the defensive end, it's a new name for us this week. Number 99, Mark Gonzalez.
Well, it's a new name in regards to Player of the Week, but it's not a new name in regards to the recognition that we've been giving him, because Gonzo is only a sophomore, and just every week he's just in the talk about Player of the Week, and he has just had a tremendous year this year as a defensive tackle, nose guard, and wherever we decide to play him. But high motor, and just so glad that we're able to recognize him this week as the Defensive Player of the Week.
On special teams, we're sticking with the family here. Number 23, Ben Clark.
Yeah, so all these guys, these 3 Players of the Week, are all underclassmen, which looks, bright to the future. Larry's a junior, and Gonzo's a sophomore, and now Ben Clark, is a freshman. And Ben had a couple tackles on special teams and continues to excel in that part of it, and getting a little bit more time on the defensive side as well. He's going to be a heck of a player, and he's living up to that Clark name. So we're very, very fortunate to have all the Clarks on our team, and Ben is our special teams player of the week.
On the scout teams this week, we'll start with the offense, and we're looking at number 2, Ashton Flavin.
Yep, Ashton is a senior that, again, one of those guys that say, well, how can I help the team coach? And did a great job on our scout team, and just a program guy, and just, he's got that win attitude, wherever I'm needed, and he'll do it. And, we're real happy to be able to give the award out to Ashton this week.
And the scout team defense to round things up, number 38, Rowan Treasurer.
Yeah, they had a little different blitz that they would bring every so often, and Rowan was that guy that came off the edge and we were able to identify him, but he did a great job of getting into that blitz so we could identify it and pick it up and be able to execute it against in a game situation. So first year player for our program, and he's done a great job, and happy to get him some recognition.
And Coach, this week we talk about it every week that it may not happen, but this is the first week we don't have a bone crusher.
Well, we said we were going to be very, very chintzy on him when it came to passing that out, and not that we didn't have some good hard hits, but that's not one that just stood out, so instead of just watering down the award, we'll save it for next week, and hopefully we'll have one of those bone crushing hits that we're become accustomed to.
Well, that's a good congratulations to all the players that have won the award this week from Station 21. Well deserved, and we'll come back next week with some more in our final game of the year, which happens to be at home this week, and it's against the old Michigan City Wolves. A tough game for the last game of the season, and a tough one to wrap up the DAC and the undefeated regular season as well. Pretty good team you're going up against Friday night.
Really good team. They've won their last three, and as we told our guys yesterday in practice, and I told a couple of reporters that I've talked to this week, there by far, man to man, the best. They have the best personnel of any team that we're going to play this year. I mean, they're just loaded with talent. They have a Division I quarterback, a Division I running back, Division I offensive lineman, and they got about 3 or 4 guys that have been already offered on the defensive side of the ball. We will play no team that has more talent than this team, and we're very aware of it. And we know we're going to have to play mistake-free ball, and they bring a lot of aggression, a ton of speed and skill, and we're going to have to play. If we're going to get this thing done, we're going to have to earn it. There's no doubt about that.
Coach, the Michigan City Wolves are 5-3 on the season, 4-2 in the conference. Obviously, a win for you guys will solidify the conference championship for you. You have a guarantee of a tie right now, but how important is it to win that thing outright and to have that thing 2 years in a row?
Well, it certainly hasn't happened around here very often, and not many teams are able to run the table and go 9-0. Through the regular season, no matter whether you're in the conference or the state or whatever it may be. So, obviously, we have some things to look at and possibly achieve. And it's totally up to our guys. We're going to put them in a position to win and be successful, and hopefully they can execute it. It's going to be one of those games that if we walk off this field victorious and able to hold our hands up and be the sole conference champs, I think it'll be a lot more important that way than it will be, if we have to share it. But we're still certainly happy where we're at, and at least have a tie for the conference. But I think most of our guys, or if not everyone to the man, and as well as the coaches, would like to have that thing solely in our hands.
Well, and it could be in your hands after the game on Friday night, 7 o'clock against the Michigan City Wolves. I know, Coach, you never like jumping ahead and looking ahead, but I know the draw has already come out. We'll, of course, talk about the playoffs and stuff next week on the Bulldog Bark. But what were your thoughts on the draw in the 4-team sectional?
I really didn't have any thoughts. I mean, we just, it's one of those things. It is what it is. You got to win 2 games to win the sectional, and we're so, just overcome with what we're trying to do, against Michigan City and wrap this thing up. We'll have some time to think about that and prepare for that. As you know, you get a bye week after the first week, so there's no sense of even jumping into anything. But as we told our players yesterday, there's not many teams that are left on week 9. They're playing a game that means something, right? And we're one of them, so. This is what we prepare for all year long, and throughout the weight room and all the training and everything that we do, and we put ourselves in a position to go unbeaten and be a sole conference champion, and that's where we're gonna put all our concentration in. And when that happens, after that and Friday, then we'll start looking forward to the tournament.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck this Friday night, Coach. Go after those Wolves. It's a home game. It's at Crown Point, 7 o'clock. On Friday night, the Wolves against the Bulldogs. Make sure you're out there. Coach, thanks for joining us today. We'll talk to you next week and get ready for the playoffs coming up.
Looking forward to being at home again and having a great crowd. Obviously, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of wet weather, but we're hoping that everybody can come out and support us and get us through this undefeated season, hopefully. So looking forward to it, Ski, and appreciate you having me on, and go Dogs.
All right. We'll see you Friday night, and we'll see you, everybody, out there at Bulldog Stadium, 7 o'clock. on Friday night. This has been the Bulldog Bark. We'll see you next week.